Newspapers are an excellent source of historic information. From the History Day page, we have a link at the bottom right for newspapers accessible from the public library. Several items on this list, such as the Minneapolis Labor Review and Minneapolis Tribune, were covered in the local training video. The historic New York Times covers 1851 to 2007. A Rochester Public Library card or Selco card registered at Rochester Public Library is needed to access this resource from outside of the library. A keyword search in this resource looks at the headline and full text of an article. For example, if we tried revolts in France, you can see a variety of headlines and dates that appear. You may use the limiters on the right side to limit to a date range by decade. Or you can limit to a particular type of document like the front page or an editorial. The article will be in PDF format, which you can email, create a login to save, print, or get the citation in a variety of formats. All database accessible from home can also be found from the alphabetical listing under Reference on the Rochester Public Library site. The Biography in Context is another good resource. Students will need a library card to use this from home. Let's try Martin Luther, the German Reformer. You can see the different sources for information on the right. If there are associated images with a subject, you can see them in the scroll bar and select them. There are also selected additional websites at the bottom that have been screened for appropriateness. The saved items will only stay for the duration of the session, as in all Gale products. They cannot be saved indefinitely and accessed at another date. If you access ProQuest Newspapers through the Rochester Public Library link, you will be able to search hundreds of newspapers from across the U.S. as well as some from other countries. Many of these newspapers only go back to the early 1990s with full text, but still could have valuable information about older topics. For example, if we would search the anniversary of the Russian Revolution. You may use the limiters at the right to limit further by a subject, person, or date. You could also use the suggested subjects for other articles. Another resource available through the Rochester Public Library alphabetical list is called the Salem History Resources. They have information by some decades as well as information on inventors and some major primary source documents. Students will need a library card to access this from outside the library. You may select a decade to browse or do a keyword search on a topic. For example, let's try the Great Depression. On the left side, you may see options for emailing, printing, and citing the article. Students may also register and save the articles for review at a later date. As you can see, the resources are many, and we have only touched on just a few of the more common ones. Encourage students to use a variety of terms or synonyms if they aren't finding what they need, and to try several different databases. Remind them the librarians at the reference desk would love to help them, either in person, by email, by chat, or on the phone.